Like fighting hundreds of thousands of people online at midnight in order to secure a Nintendo Switch 2. So are the games of our lives. I'm pretty sure I had to kill 14 people last night. That's all I'm saying. But we secured the bag, baby. And these are the games of our lives.
Super Mario and Pokemon and all the games that took us to another place and made us want to keep playing all night. These are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, and accompanied today by myself is the wonderful, the fantastic, the vibe father himself, the Real House. What is going on, dude? Welcome on in.
Not too much, my dude. It is good to be in the presence of greatness. Bill, how you doing?
Listen, I am feeling extra cozy today. I've got my robe on, my jammies on. I'm feeling bundled and just comfortable, you know? We're in a comfy mood today.
Yeah.
I see you
Well,
took comfy in like a different direction, and you're rocking like a nice like Hawaiian like shirt. Like,
You know, it wouldn't be a Thrilly appearance without the Hawaiian shirt, but I've taken the extra measures for some comfort, and I do have some comfy basketball shorts on because you got to have the stretch. You got to be able to be comfortable in your own apartment. So
1,000%.
we're relaxing.
Some would say maxing and relaxing, but
Hell yeah.
that's another story. Really, I got a question for you. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about comfort games.
Ooh, cannot wait to dive into that. Thrilly and I each came up with a list of our favorite comfort games, the games that calm us down, let us vibe, and just be chill. But before we dive into the game of the week, which is comfort games, we have to talk a little bit about the news, okay? Not too much news that we're going to go through because I really want to talk about these comfort games, but two big things that were newsworthy happened in the last 48 hours, so I wanted to kind of like gauge where you're at on them. So yesterday, or at this point, I believe it was 2 days ago, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion just showed up on our doorstep. They said, hey y'all, Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake or remastered is just now available on Game Pass. Really, have you played any of the Elder Scrolls games before?
I have, but never got super deep into them. Everybody else kind of hyped it up. So for me, it almost became like an overhyped game
Oh,
because
okay.
of how much everybody had hyped it up. But I'm not going to play this remaster. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna check it out in due time. But my work schedules kept me away from video gaming this week.
Fair enough. Do you have Microsoft Game Pass?
I did, and I currently don't, but I will again.
I
Man's got a budget.
I will say, the Game Pass is probably one of the most like budget-friendly video game situations right now, just available.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're dropping like day one first party Xbox bangers, left and right.
Yep.
Like Oblivion is a Game Pass game. I believe Doom: The Dark Ages is going to be on Game Pass.
I think you're right.
They just dropped South of Midnight on Game Pass. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 is going to be on Game Pass. So there's like a lot of games. Some of the Yakuza games are on Game Pass. Like really, just a lot to offer right now. So if that is something that people are looking for, that's pretty solid deal.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna name off a few more that are coming up
Oh,
that are
okay.
going to be on Game Pass. Because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is going to be on Game Pass.
Banger.
As well as Revenge of the Savage Planet. And there's a couple. I think you said Ninja Gaiden, right?
I did not. So Ninja Gaiden's coming out. Okay.
Yes, I thought you said it. And I guess Outer Worlds 2.
Oh, okay. I liked Outer Worlds 1. kind of like
Yeah.
Space Fallout.
Yeah. There's a lot of games on the list that I can see in front of me that have unconfirmed dates. Like there's a new Gears of War that when it comes out, it's going to be day one on Game Pass. So,
Wow.
like a pretty solid value for what you're getting. And I mean, in the past, Battlefield and stuff has been day one on Game Pass. So
Yeah.
I currently don't have it, but I would recommend getting it because if you got the money, get it.
Yeah. It's probably the best value in gaming right now.
Yeah.
Got a question for you, Thrilly. What is a game you would love to see come to Game Pass?
I feel like a lot of the games that I would play won't end up on Game Pass, but let's
Well,
go
we're wish
with
casting here.
yeah, we're wish casting. So, if they brought my Max Payne games back and put them on Game Pass,
Ooh.
I'd play the shit out of that.
That would
Give me
be rad.
hurry up and give me that Max Payne 1 and 2 remaster and put it on Game Pass. I'll play the shit out of it.
Oh, I would actually play it. Like that's how much of a layup that would be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know how much I love Max Payne. So for me, that's like a little bit of a.
Oh yeah. I would love to see a game like The Sims. Like I think like The Sims or like a Sim City type game would be pretty fun on Game Pass.
I think there are like similar-ish games. I don't know
Right.
if like the specific one is on Game Pass, but some of like a lot of the EA games are on Game Pass now, which
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier to digest.
Very true.
You know, again, adding to the value of Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of those EA games will go straight there. So if you're looking for some Sims or some other EA game like that, you look in Game Pass, you'll find it.
And
Really wish Knockout City was still a thing.
man,
Uh,
what a fumble. What an all-time fumble. Knockout City charging
all time.
$25. Like if Knockout City was a free game, it would still be active today. Just
Yeah.
bottom line.
Honestly, I feel like we could spend a whole podcast talking about Knockout City on its own.
That might be a fun
So-
like games that like we lost too soon or something like that would be a fun
Yeah.
topic because man,
Yeah. So I'll reserve some of my thoughts because I could definitely go in hard on a rant, but
yeah.
you had everything you needed right in front of you, and you still found a way to drop the ball. So
You hate to see it.
yeah, it's an all-time disappointment for me.
Yeah. All right. Next piece of news that I've got for you here is, and we brought it up at the intro of the show. The Nintendo Switch 2 online pre-orders happened last night. So around midnight or 12:30 if you're Best Buy. Thanks for the heads up, boys. The Nintendo Switch 2 online pre-orders happened last night, and the big three retailers that were selling them last night were Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. And I just wanted to run through with you the experience of someone trying to get a Switch 2 last night.
Let's hear it.
Matt, one of the other co-hosts of this show, and I were online. We were just on the phone together while we were commiserating, praying for these Nintendo Switch 2s. We had all three websites open. So like I had Best Buy open in a window, I had Target open in a window, I had Walmart open in a window. So like 11:55 hits and Walmart flips to a "you're now in line" screen. So I was like, oh, like that's rad. And then 12 o'clock hits. I'm like mad refreshing. Target immediately says that they're sold out. Like I hit refresh. It went from coming soon to sold out like immediately. Went and kept like refreshing, but the website like crapped out like 17 times. I ended up getting a Switch 2 in my cart on Target like 3 different times. And like whenever I got to the checkout screen, my computer lit on fire and exploded.
Oh my god.
So
Boom.
So Target ended up not working out for me. Matt was able to get one through Target, luckily.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm like trying to refresh Best Buy, and it's saying coming soon, and we're now like 10 minutes, 20 minutes into this like pre-order nightmare. It's like 25 after midnight, coming soon, coming soon. It's like, what is happening? And then bam, Walmart pops up, and I'm able to secure something through Walmart. So I got the Walmart locked in, but like the one that I wanted most was the Best Buy, because Best Buy was the only option of the three that's offering in-store pickup.
Okay.
So I was like, let me hold the line here and try to get Best Buy. And at like 12:30, it flips, and I'm like able to click in, and I get in line, and I am just hovering in line for straight up 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And I was able to lock it in. Matt was also able to lock in a Best Buy. So the second Switch that he ended up pre-ordering, he's going to end up like, his brother's going to buy it off of him. And then the second Switch that I have pre-ordered is either going to go to Rachel or one of my friends, Taryn. So we'll see how that shakes out. But man, it was like I loved reading the like the Blue Sky feeds of people just like panicking online, because every other tweet was like, I got it, I don't got it. I got it, I don't got it. I love Best Buy, I hate Best Buy. I love Target, I wish Target was unalived. I love Walmart. Walmart murdered my grandmother. Like, it was such a mixed flurry of emotions. I like couldn't go to sleep for like a whole hour and change after I secured the Switch, because like I just had the adrenaline going like crazy.
Oh man.
But it's cool because Best Buy's doing a midnight launch. And so I'm excited because this is going to be the first midnight launch for any video game type thing that I've gone to in probably 15 years. Thrilly,
Yeah, sounds about right.
Thrilly, I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
What is your most memorable video game pre-order / midnight release experience? You have any that stick out to you?
Mm, I I had a tendency to stay away from midnight releases, partly because I'd been on the other side of it. I don't know if you remember the time that I worked at a GameStop. So I stuff like that kind of like, pushed me away from wanting to be a part of that experience. Um, I think I was at a BioShock one once,
That
and
tracks.
maybe a Call of Duty one once. But those are sort of like mishmash memories with like actually being at work for those. So
Fair, fair. What was it like to work for a midnight launch? That's
not fun. Not fun because it's hours where like the store would normally be closed, and there's just like all these people who are just lined up outside waiting to get. It's almost like a Black Friday, which I've
Gotcha.
also worked through, and I think a lot of
Yeah.
people our age maybe have. The Black Friday isn't as much of a thing now as it was when we were younger, but
Oh, it
I
used
worked
to
at
be
a Toys.
huge. People used to like get into fights.
Yeah, and so I worked at a Toys R Us once on Black Friday, and we opened the store at 5 a.m. And at like 3:30 in the morning, there was people like camping outside and doing stuff like that. And much in the same way, even before GameStop had closed for normal hours, there was people out there just waiting for the midnight release. So it gets a little weird sometimes. People will grab their chairs. Some people will grab tents and stuff, and I'm like, this is a little extra, but do you do you?
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know?
Well, I I don't wish that experience, I guess, on anybody from like a retail standpoint. That's hopefully the midnight release is just a, you go in, you give them your receipt, you get your item, you leave. Nobody's like, no fuss, no muss.
Yeah,
And
honestly, for you, I think this one's going to be different because you've already bought it. It's not like you have to,
right.
buy an unclaimed product.
That's true. For a lot of midnight releases, it wasn't like a
Fingers crossed.
pre-ordered thing. It was just like a get in line. I remember I, I don't remember what game it was. It may have been a Call of Duty or something like that. And this is back, you know, 10, 15 years ago. Physical copies of games weren't always as readily available. So sometimes
Yeah,
physical copies of games would just like sell out.
yeah.
And like I feel like I haven't seen that in years now. Maybe like 10 to 15 years. Like I haven't seen physical copies of games sell out. But like in that like Xbox 360, PS3, Wii era, they definitely did at first. Or at least like
Yeah,
they stores weren't stocked fully.
I think the last couple of generations of consoles have really driven away from physical game releases. So you have so many downloadable games, and I mean
100%.
PC gaming especially that you can't find a hard copy for a game. Everything is on Steam or it's on Epic, and everything is digital. And it's almost the same thing with my PS5. I have like maybe 3 or 4 hard copies, and the rest of my games are all digital.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty soon we won't have hard copies, I think.
I mean, like, and not for nothing, but I know there's arguments for and against like physical copies, like the availability of physical copies. I understand the demand for, but like I have a Nintendo Switch, and I have like all three of the current gen consoles, right? And I think I have 3 total physical games for my Switch, and I do not have a single physical game at all for my PS5 or my Xbox. Just like
Yeah.
everything's digital. I honestly, it's like I think storing them is like a chore in and of itself. So it's like it's easier and more accessible for me to just flip through a digital library and
Yeah.
kind of go from there.
I have arguments for and against it.
Sure.
Because me, I'm a big movie guy,
Yeah.
and I've seen what happens with streaming services that maybe get shuttered or decide that a movie might not be good enough to be on their streaming service, whatever. So there's definitely a case where like digital media that you own and have paid for it and have like a legitimate ownership claim for could
Yeah.
just disappear and not be there anymore. So like I feel that, but I also feel like that convenience, like you were saying, where it's like easier to not have the physical copies. So there's like a little bit of a nostalgia when you can buy a physical copy, or even like when you and I go to retro game stores and all that stuff, like that's a nice nostalgic feeling of like, oh, I miss being able to just go to a store and pick out a game and take it off the shelf and bring it home with me.
Right.
Like that's it's I try to be partial about it because like the reality is this is the way things are going. Like it's going to be digital. Like
Right.
we aren't going to have physical copies anymore.
I mean,
But
yeah,
as long as we can kind of hold on to that nostalgia, I feel like the world's still in a good place.
and I feel like nostalgia is like a perfect way to put it too, because like even like if you're watching the video version of this podcast, like my back wall here is just all a bunch of like retro video games that are like cased and displayed, like and really like
Yeah.
I don't keep retro games at this point in order to play them. Like I keep them as almost like art pieces. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I'd rather like just like display like look at this like rad game, just because digital versions of all of these games are available like via either emulation or just availability online. So
Not that I would, condone an emulator or whatever, but it's available.
yeah, I mean, listen, if you own a copy of the game and you want to emulate that game, I feel like that is fine.
Psych, I love emulators. Get a good one. Fuck the corporations.
Yo ho ho, my boy. You know what? Let's just get right into this. I'm tired of talking about these newfangled stressful games, these stressful midnight experiences, these stressful Oblivion 4s. I'm talking we should bring it down. Everybody just simmer. Everybody stay calm. And let's talk about some of the comfort, cozy games that help bring your level down. A nice little woo-sa, if you will. A goose fraba, as some.
Ooh, Fraba.
Really, you and I have both come up with a list of comfort games that help keep us even keel. You
Yeah.
said that you yourself have a couple of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So why don't we start with your honorable mentions? And
Okay.
we'll just kind of like run through the games, chat a little about each one, and kind of go from there.
So before I begin, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that as much as Bill and I are very much same, we are also very different. So I have a feeling that our games are going to be our choices are going to be a lot different. So I've got about 5 or 6 honorable mentions that I didn't put on my top 5 list.
Okay.
So we've got Powerwash Simulator.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty easy choice right there. I can just turn my brain off while I play that. I don't need to explain what Powerwash Simulator is. I think the name explains itself. Stardew Valley.
Okay. Are you a
I
big
feel
Stardew
like
Valley guy?
I can be like I have like phases where like I'll play it and I'm just like really into it and I'm not doing anything else, and then I won't pick it up for a long time.
Yeah.
And then like 9 or 10 months later, I'm like, I'm gonna play it again, and then I get stuck on it again.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, Portal 1 and 2.
Ooh, just
Yeah,
absolute bangers.
yeah. I feel like we've played them together.
I
Like the
we may
the
have
second one was a 2-player, I
I
think, right?
think we may have either played it or streamed it like back in the day.
Yeah. Um, Here's one that I don't think you've played, but I would recommend. Tetris Effect.
Oh, it's such a beautiful game.
Everything about it, like every level on that game almost feels like a little bit of like an
The
art
the
installation or
game
something like
is
that.
an art installation, and if
Yeah,
you play that game, like if you're able to like put yourself like onto some like headphones and you like
yeah,
cut all the lights off in the room and it's just like dark Tetris and headphones, that is a truly unique gaming experience.
yeah. And the soundtrack is just bangers. And if you're on Spotify or you just like listening to music, the Tetris Effect soundtrack is on Spotify, and there's the versions that you heard in the game, but there's also like original like studio versions of some of those songs. Just honestly, close your eyes and just listen to it. You could relax. Like it's really good. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Probably not expected from someone like me because
N-
I'm not normally a Tetris guy, but that game is
It hits
something else.
different. Tetris Effect hits
Yeah,
different.
yeah. And I got 2 more. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got something in my eye. Unpacking.
Okay.
It just feels nice and cozy. Like I think the whole story of the game is that like some girl is like moving into a new place or whatever, and as you like unpack her boxes and put everything away, you're unpacking the story of her life. And I'm like, this is really cozy. Like this is nice.
I tried playing Unpacking because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I got so stressed out playing Unpacking.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I'm like, God, if I don't put everything, like, I treated it like a puzzle game and not like a cozy game. And I was
Yeah.
like, so the entire time I'm like, how can I most efficiently do this? And I'm like, just like logisticking the entire time. And it was,
Yeah.
I was like overwhelmed a little bit.
Yep. 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 And here's my last honorable mention:
Yeah.
Rollercoaster Tycoon.
Yo.
Like, how can you forget about Rollercoaster Tycoon?
You can't. RCT is phenomenal.
Yeah, just roller coasters. Hey.
It's a fun game. Like, it's a good, just vibe game.
Yeah.
And I think those are great. I can't wait to see what your top 5 are, because your honorable mentions could be a top 5.
They really could. It was hard to make that list.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start at my number 5. All
Okay.
right. And my number 5 is a game that I play if I'm on the computer, because when I play games, I'm primarily a console gamer, and I like to play my console in my living room on the couch, where it's a nice comfy situation. But when I'm on the computer and like I'm waiting for something to render out, or I'm just like killing time or whatever, the game that I'll play is, we're gonna pause while Thrilly go gets his DoorDash. Absolutely insane behavior. The fact before we started the stream, peeling back the curtain, Thrilly's like, I put in an order for DoorDash, and here he comes with his Jack in the Box breakfast.
I was trying to slip away as slowly and quietly as possible, but I'm too big to be that quiet. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Just mid-story, gets up, says, you know what?
And I was listening too. I was like, this is a great story. Please
Oh
continue.
my god. So if I'm like trapped on the computer and I'm trying to just like kill time, the game that I'll play is Backyard Football. So just because it's like it's a low brain energy game. All I have to do is just like click me throwing the ball to 7-year-old Jerry Rice as 7-year-old Steve Young. And I could play that game if I'm on the computer like for hours and just be mild to moderately entertained. And it helps me just vibe out and chill. And it is just, I think, a perfect number 5 to kickstart this comfort game list.
That's pretty good. Honestly, I feel the same way about the backyard baseball games. The backyard sports games in general are just really turn your brain off and relax.
Mm-hmm. What's your number 5, Thrilly?
My number 5 would be a Donut County.
Ooh.
Do you remember that game?
I love that game. That's the hole in the ground game, right?
Yeah, I love that game so much. And I've streamed it on multiple occasions, even though every time I've streamed it, I've beat it in one shot. I remember doing it for the stacked game marathon.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't know what Donut County is, feel like the game mechanic might be similar to like Katamari Damacy, maybe. If I'm
in a way, it kind of is. There are definitely parallels.
Yeah. So it's so much fun. You have like a human character and a raccoon.
Of course.
You know, the raccoon, he's trying to develop some sort of mobile app. Trying to earn enough points for a drone.
This is classic raccoon behavior.
Yeah, and so he does this by scheduling like donut deliveries to the residents of Donut County. But then he realizes that he's not sending donuts. He's putting actual holes in the ground, and just everything in the county is being consumed by these holes. It's amazing.
It is. There's a lot more storytelling in the game than you would expect.
Yeah.
When the concept of the game is you are a little hole trying to gobble up this entire town.
Yeah. Also, the art is just very cute.
Yeah.
Like, it's super charming and very engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's hard not to love it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a perfect way to kickstart your top 5. Next game on my list. Now, call me crazy here, But believe it or
You're
not,
crazy.
almost every game on this list is a Nintendo game. Okay.
Oh, I'm so
Crazy,
surprised.
crazy, crazy. But my number 4 game is Mario Kart. Parentheses, any of them.
Okay,
I
that's fair.
I love Mario Kart. I could play Mario Kart all day, every day. The number one reason I'm getting the Nintendo Switch 2 is specifically for Mario Kart World. I think Mario Kart, outside of maybe Pokemon, might be my just like favorite video game franchise of all time. And I think Mario Kart could potentially be one of the franchises that has been just like most consistently good per entry
Yeah.
of all time in video games, which may or may not be a hot take. I don't know. Uh, but I can like
And I'm not gonna argue it.
I have 350 some odd hours in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. I play it a lot. It is fun to just race and vibe, and like yeah, sometimes it gets competitive, but like it's just so fun to just bop to the music cuz Mario Kart soundtracks are always fire, and
Yeah.
just racing around it just feels good. So I just love playing Mario Kart.
Yeah. That's I'm really not surprised that you picked a Nintendo game because we know you. Mario Kart is a very classic franchise,
Mhm.
and I feel like they're just gonna keep making Mario Karts as long as people love them. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad choice.
Yeah. What do you got next?
For my number 4,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Animal Crossing.
Ooh.
The one on the Switch, I've lost so many hours to, like, just doing nothing. You know? Like,
Yeah.
just absolutely turn your brain off and just mess around on this island and, you know, you see all these cute little neighbors you've amassed, and it's so good. Like, I don't have to think about it. I'm not losing or winning. I'm just in the game.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite villager that you vibe with?
Not really.
Okay.
Um, I forgot her name, but there was one that kind of looked like a rabbit, and I'm trying to like. I'm gonna Google
Oh,
it.
okay. My if I had to pick like a favorite neighbor, call me an old head, call me what you will, folks in the comment section, but I am loyal to my guy Apollo. Apollo is just a bald eagle who wears a leather jacket, and he's been around since the very first Animal Crossing, and he's been like a day one for me. And
Yeah,
when I mean Animal Crossing New Horizons is like a perfect game to talk about regarding comfort games, right? Because
yeah,
back in 2020 when um we all died and were replaced by some sort of mass replacement event, we had Animal Crossing to kind of tide us over while the world was in lockdown for a year and a half. And I remember getting out of work and going straight to Animal Crossing to just like get my mind off of work and just be able to cool off, reset, and listen, plant some trees, do a little fish. Fishing might be like my favorite part of the entire game. I could fish all day.
I could fish all day.
Vi-
Oh,
Man, video game fishing in general, man. It's so good.
apparently I'm a Stunad, Bill.
Stunad!
Because
She's
she's
not a
not
rabbit.
a rabbit. She's a hamster. I don't know how I made that confusion, but Apple.
Oh, Apple's so cute.
She's a little cutie.
A little munchkin.
I would just pick her up. Like if I met her for real, I'd just pick her up and put her in my little chest pocket.
Yeah,
You know, I got one right here. She could go right here.
that's what I'm saying.
Poke her little head out.
Apple's adorable.
Yeah,
And so is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
yeah.
That
Such a
is,
good game.
it's just a perfect choice for a cozy vibe game.
Yeah.
Um, my number 3 is a specific mechanic in a game. Um,
Okay.
so I love, and it might just be my favorite game in this franchise currently. Um, I love playing Pokemon Legends Arceus and just running around these open areas looking for shiny Pokemon.
Okay.
So, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, it is markedly easier to find shiny Pokemon than in traditional Pokemon games. But you also have more like freedom of mobility in Pokemon Legends Arceus, where like you can ride on a deer, you can fly around with an eagle, and you're exploring these like giant open areas. And when you come across a shiny Pokemon, you hear a little bring, and then you get to like drop down and explore, and you're like, which one of you sons of guns is the wrong color? And
I
uh
love that.
it is, I have put so many hours into this game, just
Bring.
running around these, like, run and repeat, going through these open worlds looking for shiny Pokemon. And it's just such like a calming, chill thing to do. So I just love it.
Yeah. So for my number 3,
Yeah.
going a lot out of the box here, but you know me personally. Um, Out of the park baseball, or just like any management sim, like in that sort of regard.
I
Um,
knew I knew some sort of sports management game was coming down the pipeline.
like I can spend so much time playing like out of the park baseball specifically. Um, there's a yearly installment of Out of the Park,
Okay.
and I basically buy it like every other year. So, but like for the most part, you can go back to like 1900 or like whenever baseball was invented. I think in the
Wow.
newer ones, the earliest you can go is like 1876,
Mm-hmm.
something crazy like that. And sometimes, just out of like boredom or curiosity, I'll just like start from the beginning and just like, hey, how far can I take this, and can I make it back to present day? And like for me, it's just relaxing because I'm just like simulating stuff and like just changing minor things here and there, and I'm just like I'm watching like a baseball world grow. Like this is dope. But even if I'm just like hands on, just like managing a team, it's kind of cool where I can just be like, this is how I want to run. Like I just, it, for some reason, all these like management sims out of the park, even TEW, the wrestling one, like
Yeah. I
just
I
like
remember
managing top down, so cool.
I remember going to Thrilly's house when we were growing up, and like if we were hanging out, either watching wrestling or just chilling, how the countless number of times I'd come over, and when I showed up, Thrilly was just playing like one of his wrestling simulators. and and it was great because like I remember you would like tell me, it's like you would like give me the kayfabe backstory of like what's happening in your league. um
Yeah,
and I mean, like I know those games absolutely like suck you in. And
yeah,
I mean, they're fun, like they're there for a reason.
yeah.
They're just chill
So it's
games.
so much fun. I
Yeah,
love
I love that, dude.
it.
So my number 2 game uh is specific to when I am flying on an airplane. So,
Okay.
and it's weird because like yes, I love this game at a baseline, but I do not play it outside of immediate release or on an airplane. So,
Okay.
uh and that game is 2D Super Mario games. I'm talking like Super Mario
Okay.
Wonder, New Super Mario Brothers, uh those type of games. Um I
Okay.
don't know why, but I'm always flying stresses me out. Flying gives me the heebies and the jeebies. And
Fair.
um in order to combat that, I will often uh bring my Nintendo Switch and play a nice little 2D Mario game because it just like puts me at ease that I can just focus on Super Mario going, bing bing wahoo, jumping around and trying to save the princess from a big bad turtle man. And it just puts me in like kind of like a zen mode for like the 2 or 3 hours that I need it for a flight. And I like it's just been like my locked and loaded go-to for probably like 7 or 8 years now.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
For my number two,
Yeah.
maybe not like a traditional comfort game,
Okay.
but also one of my favorite games of all time. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay. I see it. I see the vision here.
Even if I'm not playing in the story, just being in the world, like running around doing stuff, fishing, hunting, whatever, it's relaxing. I could do that forever. And even as long as that game is, how many hours it takes to finish, I've replayed that game like 5, 6 times. Like,
Yeah.
who's gonna stop me?
Not me. Not me.
You could just sit at the edge of a lake and just
Well, there's so much you can do in the game outside of doing the story stuff, and the world that you can explore is so huge. And I mean, it's no wonder that you can get lost in, Western
The sauce.
America in 1912 or whatever.
Yeah, very good game.
But plus, it's gorgeous. Like, let's be real. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2, absolutely beautiful game.
So good. Chef's kiss.
Absolutely. My number one game. I'm cheating, actually, with my number one game.
Oh.
All right, so I have a favorite genre of video games. And a lot of the video games in this genre are like 1 to 3 hour games. They're all very short. So I had trouble picking just one. And so I'm cheating in saying my number one comfort game that I can go back to, and if I just want to like chill for an hour or two and just enjoy myself playing a game, it is just about any 2D platformer. Specifically Donkey Kong Country games. I love playing the Donkey Kong Country games. Whether it's the 3 on the Super Nintendo or the 2 that are on the Switch right now, or even Yooka-Laylee, The Impossible Lair. Like any of these like 2D platformers that, have great controls and even better vibes and like S-tier soundtracks. I can get lost in any of these Donkey Kong Country games all day, any day. Playing as Diddy, playing as Dixie, playing as Donkey, beating up alligators, beating up penguins for some reason. It is just I'm always like teleported back to being like a kid when I'm playing those games too, because the Donkey Kong Country games, at least the first 3, I have like very specific memories of waking up on Christmas morning and unwrapping a Donkey Kong Country game and just playing Donkey Kong Country. And I think it was like 2 or 3 years in a row, or like a 3 out of 4 year window where I got Country 1, 2, and then 3. And
that's awesome.
I loved every single one. And I just, nothing puts me back in like a cozy, chill, like zen mode quite like the Donkey Kong Country games. They just bring me back to childhood, man.
Yeah. I have a similar memory of Pokemon.
Okay.
And I remember on my OG Game Boy, because I'm old enough to have had a gray Game Boy, Mom got me one of the Pokemon games for Christmas. And immediately I went upstairs, laid on my stomach on the floor, and just played a Pokemon until they had to drag my ass back downstairs for dinner.
100%.
I swear, it might have been like 8 or 9 hours. Like the battery was about to die and everything, and I'm just like, I'm playing over here.
That
But I think it was Red that she got me.
oh, Red. That
Yeah,
is that's so good.
yeah,
Man. Those those Christmases where you would wake up, get your presents, and then like be able to just go to your room and play video games for like 3 or 4 hours until you had to like do family stuff.
yeah.
Those mornings in retrospect hit
Retro
like
spray.
in retrospect they hit so good. They
Yeah,
like looking back, I'm like those are like some of like the most pure 6 hour windows of my life.
yeah.
Um and
You know,
yeah,
when we get closer to Christmas, we're gonna have to do an episode like a games of our Christmas past.
dude. Yes.
Because we could talk for days about like like well I got this one year for Christmas and like because that's such a fun topic too. Especially like back in those days where like the N64 and stuff and
Yeah.
we got so many cool games back then. It was always a treasure.
Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
Really, what is your number one vibes game?
Okay. I feel like if you've ever seen me stream, you probably have seen me stream this game. Um, House Flipper.
House Flipper.
I have lost entirely too many hours to House Flipper. Like an unreal amount of hours. I played House Flipper 1 obsessively, and I would just like go through like every time I'd finished and done all the houses, I was like, well, I'll just start the game over so I can do all the houses and stuff again. And then House Flipper 2 came out, and I was like, what? And House Flipper 2 even has a story, so I'm like, all right, let's get in
Oh
there.
wow. Okay.
So I'm just like obsessed with these House Flipper games.
Yeah.
Uh like almost in the same way as like, like Powerwash Simulator can turn your brain off or whatever. Like House Flipper does the same for me, but you get that little bit of like extra added layer of like, creativity and stuff like that, trying to make a house of your own design. It's just really nice for me. I
Yeah.
love House Flipper.
I mean, it's that is I have seen you play that game. It is absolutely one of those like chill vibes, no pressure. Just clean it,
Yeah.
flip it, and rinse and repeat, and it's just it's
Yeah.
a fun game. It's really nice.
I feel like you've come over a few times in the middle of me playing it too. Where I'm just
Absolutely.
like, hey, look.
Absolutely. Listen, I have very specific memories of visiting Thrill House here. I I'm like biting my tongue, like not saying your real name every once in a while
That's fair.
because like I existed during a period of time before Thrill House was known as Thrill House. And so
Yeah.
every once in a while, like his real name slips out of my mouth, and we both look at each other like, "What did you just say?"
Well, who's that? I don't know that guy.
Like his,
Who that?
but like it's at the point now where like Thrilly, you're in my phone is Thrilly.
Yeah. And my brother's phone too, weirdly enough.
I mean, quite literally, it's a family name at this point.
Yeah.
But I have like literally gone to your house or your apartment and seen you playing multiple of these games that you've mentioned. Like I've seen you play the sports managers. I've seen you play House Flipper. I've definitely been over while you were playing several of the Max Payne games and
Yeah.
Portal.
Yeah.
So I have seen these comfort games firsthand out of you.
Yeah.
And man, I think this is just a golden list of cozy games, and I appreciate you sharing the cozy games of your life.
Of course, I appreciate being here. This is awesome.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give you a tip of my hat here. Tip of the hat, wag of the finger. That's right. That's what we're doing right now. We're gonna tip some hats. We're gonna wag some fingers. Um, really, I didn't warn you about this, but we're tipping hats and wagging fingers. It's what we do every episode, okay?
Okay.
All right, so first I want to give a tip of the hat to, and this could have been a wag of the finger if I didn't get it locked in. Tip of the hat to Best Buy for letting me pre-order a Switch 2 so I could pick it up in person. Wag of the finger to Target for crashing like a little baby. Really, you got any tips or wags?
I'm trying to think of what my tip of the hat would be. Tip of the hat to St. Louis for this beautiful weather right now.
Gorgeous out.
That hat. Yeah. Wag of the finger to wrestling fans and the way that they've been acting the past week or two.
Are you saying that WrestleMania has brought the worst out of wrestling fans?
I just feel like nobody hates wrestling fans more than wrestling fans.
I don't think people hate wrestling more than wrestling fans.
Yeah. And maybe it's a thing that happens in other fandoms too, but like I feel like fans of certain wrestling companies don't want fans of other wrestling companies to be happy. And I, as you know, I'm just very content to just watch wrestling and enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
And it has not been this way for other people. I'm just like, leave me alone. Let me enjoy WrestleMania. And I'll probably enjoy whatever the next AEW thing is too. Like, let me enjoy both.
Hey.
I don't have to pick.
Yeah, I mean, are people mad about like John Cena?
Not specifically. I think
okay.
just people are. It's the tribalism of it all.
Oh, okay.
Like everything's like my thing is great, your thing sucks. Your thing can't be good. Only my thing can be good. It's like no, that don't work for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Like we don't listen. Get it together, wrestling fans. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. As a collective, get it together. You too, Thrilly. Get it together.
What? But you know me, I'm the vibes guy. I'm the vibe daddy. I just want to be chill. I want to enjoy myself. I want everybody else to enjoy themselves. It's like let's get it together, guys.
Right. Really, I got a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
You better, or else you're fired. Just kidding. What games have you been playing this week?
I have been playing a lot of MLB The Show.
Okay.
I hit dingers. I hit dingers and I throw strikeouts.
What more could you ask for? Golly.
Exactly. I've been obsessed with playing the Road to the Show, the career mode, and they let you be a two-way player. So I'm out here being the Puerto Rican Shohei Ohtani. Like, just point me to a baseball field and I will dominate it.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Love that. Any other games you've been playing besides the show here?
Not really, just because work's been getting in the way. But I try to play Marvel Rivals when I can.
Yeah.
There is this game coming out. I think it's an early release called like Hollywood Animal, and it's sort of like a Hollywood movie studio tycoon type of thing.
Oh, cool!
And so I'm trying to get into that. I have it like lined up, ready to play, but I feel like once I start playing it, that's just going to be like my absolute obsession. But I have the parents coming in this weekend, so I'm gonna have to wait till they leave for me to start playing it. You know what I mean?
You know what? I know exactly what you mean because my dad is also coming into town the exact same days that your parents are coming into town, which it's just an insane coincidence. I can't believe that that's just happening the way that that's happening. Very, very random.
Yeah,
but it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, we gotta lock in those Budweiser tour tickets. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I meant to text you about it yesterday, around the same time I texted you about those other tickets that we're not going to talk about on stream.
Oh, but we're going to that too. You already know.
Yes, yeah.
The game that I've been playing this week has been Yakuza 4. I have been trying to play through every Yakuza game. In order. So I started with 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and now I'm on 4. I think after I finish Yakuza 4, though, I'm gonna like take a little breather from the Yakuza series because they're long games. Like I put in on an average like 50 to 70 hours per game. So when I'm done with Yakuza 4, it'll probably bring me to Mario Kart, and then I'll just be playing nothing but Mario Kart until the day I die. So
Yeah, it's running laps around all of us.
that's the plan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I do my daily Pokemon trading card game, Pocket. Pulled a full art Meowscarada last night. Not bragging, but I can't get actual like shiny Pokemon, so I guess I'm cooked.
I feel like around the time that it came out on mobile,
Yeah,
I was very, very much into it the same way everybody else was, and then I it dropped off, and then I still sometimes see you and the boys in the group chat like, look at this Pokemon I got. I'm like, damn, should I get back into it?
and then I see Thrill House level 7, like has not touched the game in 18 years.
I'm sorry.
There's dust on your account.
Oh man, they're like, did he died? Like,
you know what? From a Pokemon perspective, he may have died. As
my Pokemon are just in their balls, just like he's dead, isn't he?
we're stuck here forever. Help! Help!
Pika?
Like you open your account in like 3 weeks, and it's just like skeletons.
Oh no!
I was supposed to feed them. No.
Almost reminds me of like Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Oh my gosh. So
if you forgot about it, they would just die of starvation.
When Rachel and I went to Japan in October, they were selling Tamagotchis. So we picked a couple up, and I was able to pick one up for my sister, and she still plays with the Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I guess they're becoming a thing again. Because when I went to Comic-Con, was it Comic-Con? Yeah, New York Comic-Con last year.
Yeah,
they had a whole booth with like Tamagotchi stuff.
I believe it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's fun. Really?
Yeah.
What's one thing you're looking forward to this week?
My parents.
Listen, it's the name of the segment, okay? The segment's called "The One Thing You're Looking Forward to This Week?" Question mark.
Question mark.
I knew the answer, but I just legally had to ask. The people who run this show tell me if I don't do these things in order, they're gonna make fun of me, and those people are me.
You're right. So my parents, they are visiting, and not only am I going to see them, I'm probably going to see you at some point, and your dad.
Almost certainly.
Which again is high key coincidence, because I feel like me and Bill are always on like very similar wavelengths of like, we're doing this, and like we may have had like a similar plan at the same time without ever even realizing. So it was to get to that realization of like, oh, like we're both having our parents visiting at the same exact weekend. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
But we also know that we're going to try to get them all to be together in the same space, which is the natural thing we would try to do anyway.
Of course. I'm excited, man. The weather's looking like it should be okay. Maybe not tomorrow, but like the rest of the weekend should be nice. So
yeah.
And that's also what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to, we're going to catch a baseball game. We're going to catch a football game. Going to go to a brew tour, so it should be fun.
Yep. Saturday, I'm taking my parents to the Cardinals game. And my dad was so funny because he was like, I want to go to that one because they're giving stuff away, and I want that giveaway. And I'm like,
sure.
If you say so.
Yeah. Say less, like, Pops.
The man knows what he wants.
Exactly. Well, Thrilly, I want to thank you again so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
It has been fantastic talking about the games of our lives and the games that are specifically comfort games in our lives.
Yeah.
Listen, if you enjoyed this episode, please, if you're on YouTube, give us a like. If you're on Apple or Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. You can follow the show at Games of Our Lives on YouTube and at Games of Our Pod on Blue Sky and Instagram. You can follow Thrill House Max, the wonderful man, at Thrill House Max on both Twitch and Twitter and Blue Sky, I assume.
Yes, and Instagram.
And Instagram.
And soon enough, YouTube. I'm trying to make a YouTube comeback.
Okay,
so
bet.
Keep those eyes peeled for some new YouTube videos.
Awesome. And you can follow me at Bill the Fajita on Blue Sky, on Twitch, and on YouTube. And really, do you have any last words for the people this week?
Guys, be good to yourselves. Be good to others. The world is hard enough as it is. Be the best version of yourself. Love yourself. Love everybody else. Make it a good one.
Thanks, Thrilly. Y'all have a wonderful day, evening, week, night, whenever you're listening to this. And we'll talk about some more video games next time.